August is coming to an end, and you know what that means. I swear, 2026 is like so fast. Everything's going by so fast. All the months, all the days, all the weeks. It's just going by so fast. And I feel like since it's going by so fast and we don't really take the time as people to look back at our month and think, what did I do last month that I want to bring into the next month? Because what's that saying where it's like, if you're doing something correct, I feel like it's a philosophy. I could be wrong, but like when you're doing something correct, you keep that regimen instead of trying to fix what doesn't need to be fixed or fix what isn't broken, you know? Why not use what worked prior, write that down so that it doesn't like fly somewhere into the universe and then I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that was working for me." And like when you look back at a last year or something, or 2 years ago, 5 years ago, you're like, wow, like I was doing so good during that time. What was I doing for things to be going so well? For me, I wasn't journaling at that time, and I wasn't adequately writing these things down and being so aware. Now I'm like, I used to always think I was like a self-aware person. No, like I'm very self-aware now, and I feel as the years keep approaching, I keep becoming more and more self-aware, which I really love. And I like to say that I'm self-aware now, but I know 5 years from now, I'm gonna be like, Maya, you are not self-aware. 23-year-old Maya was not really that self-aware. Like you really thought you were, but you're really not. Like I'm gonna think that when I'm 30. And then I'm gonna think, ooh, when I'm 30, I'm gonna think, oh, I'm so self-aware. And then when I'm 40, I'm gonna be like, ooh, like you weren't really that self-aware. Like we're always evolving. Anyways, I went off onto La La Land. The reason I'm saying this is because I feel that right now, I feel good. I feel as though last month or this month, oh my god, I'm already in September. I feel as though August was pretty cool, and I had some ups. I had a little bit of downs, but the only downs were like things I can't control, which is literally anxiety. Like I can't control my downward spiraling thoughts of the future. Like I can't control, like I maybe can, maybe I can't control it, but I'm still working on trying to control these thoughts because they're not fun, and it makes me feel uncomfy, and yeah. But the reason I think this is going to be a good idea is because August was pretty nice, and I feel like I did pretty well when it came to certain things. And I want to bring the good things that I did in August and bring them into September so that I can keep compounding the good traits and the good components of August. So that's what this video is about. And the first one that I want to say is coffee. Coffee, 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 coffee. I am bringing coffee into September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. I am bringing it to my grave because I never used to be a coffee person, and I feel as though I struggle a lot with, I wouldn't even say ADHD, but I wouldn't say ADHD because the way I function without caffeine would adamantly be somebody that has ADHD. And I'm tired. I can barely like take a shower. I can not freaking do my dishes. But once caffeine strikes my bloodstream and I'm like, it's like the Fortnite go, 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 go. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's giving. It's like my superpower is just, and my brain starts functioning correctly. I'm like, okay, bet, let's go take a shower. Oh my gosh, let's do the dishes. Let's sweep every single square foot of this apartment. Let's do it. Let's listen to some high functioning, soothing jazz music that's gonna get me to wiping every corner of this apartment. And I love that. I do. And I think the main thing that nobody should do when injecting fucking injecting caffeine into my veins, um the main thing I feel like I shouldn't do and what most people shouldn't do is get on your phone. And that's a next topic. That's another essential that's in this video is stop scrolling, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, I feel like caffeine is essential for my whole entire existence of living for the next years to come. And I used to be a functioning person with no caffeine. Unfortunately, when I did start streaming, I would only have energy drinks in my reach because of the facility that I was located in and streaming in the office that I was sitting in all day. Only basically had energy drinks and water. And I'm so glad I'm not in that environment anymore because energy drinks are so bad for you. But I did some not extensive research whatsoever. I used ChatGPT and I am going to be freaking honest. I didn't read anything other than ChatGPT and I am I'm sorry. I am. So, unfortunately, my research here today was from ChatGPT and okay, don't freaking shoot me. So, pros of caffeine: brain functionality. It just improves performance, which me personally, I need. I do. Especially since I live alone and I don't have anybody that's like, Maya, come on, wake up, get your ish together. Coffee is literally what is like, girl, get up, take a shower, do your hair, put some makeup on, put some clothes on. Like that's literally what caffeine does for me, unfortunately. And I'm a late bloomer because my parents used to always like I would see that they would kind of be addicted to caffeine or addicted to coffee. My parents would drink coffee all the time. And there was one time and I ran with this that my mom or my dad was like, coffee's like a drug, caffeine's a drug. And I'm like, why are you guys doing drugs? Well, you guys know this is a drug. You guys know da, da, da. And I ran with it. I did. My whole life I ran with it until now. 23 years of living. I ran with thinking caffeine was a drug and I did not do any research on coffee or anything, which I should have. I really should have because at the end of the day, it would have probably helped me a lot. But I think it's also because, like, bro, the coffee in America, the the freaking Starbucks, like that coffee would literally have me jumping out of my trousers and just speaking 200,000% way too fast. Like I would get so jittery, jumping up and down. Like, oh my gosh, it was so bad. It was so bad. So I think as a young human being, you really don't need coffee. You really don't. But I think that Starbucks, you know how they said that they used to put Coke in Coca Cola? Yeah. I don't know what Starbucks in America is doing, okay? But they got something in there. I don't know what they have in there, but they have something in their espresso shots, those beans. I don't know, all right? Anyways, so coffee can also help with long-term health. Now, this is obviously not coffee that has like 500 pounds of sugar in it. Okay, but I'm that person that puts 500 pounds of sugar in coffee because I hate the taste of coffee. The other day, I went to go drink some coffee with a friend, and it literally, she told me, she was like, why does this taste like a hangover? And I drank it, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. Like, I tasted it, I was like, this is so bad. And she was like, just put more like sugar or something. And I was like, no, like, I was like, I don't think that's it. Anyways, I go to the bathroom and she ends up, telling the barista to put some more sugar in it. And I drank it and I was like, okay, you're right. It's their coffee, it's their beans. Like, I'm like, whoever created this coffee shop knows Satan himself. Because if this coffee shop is up and running, I can do anything in life. I can create anything. I can create any business. I can create the most horrendous food. And she was like, no, like people genuinely like coffee that tastes like this. And I'm like, okay, well, people are genuinely going to love the shit that I make when I create a restaurant one day. Yeah, you're going to have a taste for the food, the restaurant that I start going up and running. You're going to have a taste for that. All right. Now we have the cons. The cons of it is sleep disruption, which I've never really had unless I drink coffee after like 5, 6 p.m. Like, who the hell is doing that? Don't do that. And I feel like that's all I can say on that. Like, I feel as though if you're drinking coffee, drink it in the morning, afternoon ish, but like, or not afternoon, but like drink it in the morning, drink it in the noon ish time. But like once it starts hitting 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 p.m., of course you're gonna be restless and nervousness and anxiety and like all these things and irritability and like you know what I'm saying? Like those are the times when the sun goes down. That's the time you should be drinking like super nice, relaxing tea, low dopamine kind of content. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Can create dependence. Now, I would say that is a con because I have to wake up and instantly go downstairs and get some coffee. I'm even thinking about getting a coffee maker. Like, I'm aging. That is a sign of aging. It has to be. Getting a coffee maker, that is literally a sign of aging. Let's really talk about that. Actually, let's not because I want to stay. I like 23. I like 22. I did, but then I like 23 because my frontal lobe is like morphing in, and I have so much more clarity at 23. And I feel like 24 is gonna be even more clearer, and maybe even 25. But once that hits, like don't keep like I don't want to keep going from there. Like I don't want to keep aging from there. Like I want to stay wise, the wise of 24 and 25, because I feel wise now, and I like this moment of wiseness. So I feel like we can get off coffee now. Um, Coffee's cool. I'm dependent on it. What can I say? But at least it's better than being dependent on like, you know, something really crazy. Okay, so number 2. Now, I never used to know what people meant by you need to take up more space. I'm like, what do you mean I need to take up more space? Like, does that mean I have to be louder? I get it now. I had to put myself in more scenarios to be like, oh, this is what taking up more space means. Just being seen more, saying yes more, being Maya. I can be funny, I can be quiet, I can read a room. And I've always been able to read a room, honestly, but like I can really read a room. And I don't know. I think taking up space, going to see people. I think going out to clubs sometimes can be essential to meeting people that can align with you. It takes time. It does. But if you keep indulging in like the negative aspects of like meeting clubbers or whatever, then of course that's when things start getting a little then of course that's when things start getting a little hectic. But say you go to the club, say you meet one person. That one person has a group of friends that introduces you to more people, to that group of people. Then say it's like six people. Six of those people also have different friends, branched out, you know? It's like seeing a person as a portal, as a timeline. Each person has a different opening, pause. Each person has, different things going off, timelines going on in their lives. You might find somebody that likes to read. You might find somebody that likes to do Pilates in that range. You might like somebody that, or you might find somebody that drinks coffee. You might find somebody that is heavily into drugs, but you don't go that direction. You meet the people first, like you see this like stirring pot of people, and then you're like, you know, sometimes you have to indulge in the people that you don't want to indulge with at first, and then things will start to open up in an odd way, in a very, very odd way. It's really odd. It really is. But I think that is why it is very important to take up more space. Because the more space that you take up, the more people you meet, and the more people you get introduced to, and the more new experiences you get to like start experiencing. Like, you might then meet somebody that does something you've never done before but thought about wanting to do, but you're like, oh, like I wanna go skydiving, but like nobody wants to skydive. Like, I don't know anybody that would want to skydive with me. Okay, well, start putting yourself in rooms, random rooms, and you are going to, I promise you are eventually going to find somebody that wants to skydive. You see where I'm getting at? Like, taking up more room, taking up more space will get you the opportunities that you really want, or will get you the friends that you really want. But it's all about probability, honestly. It's all a numbers game. And I think people don't really see life as a numbers game. I love numbers. Am I good with numbers? No. Am I good with math? No. It's probability. Everything has probability in it. You can show up to something so random, you know? Like, for me, I've always wanted to go to a book club, and I've always wanted to be around people that like to read. And a year ago, I showed up randomly to this event that I was like, I really don't want to go, but I'm just going to show up and show my face. A year later, I'm now living in Thailand, and that friend that I met at that event that I was like, whatever, I'm just going to show up to it, right? That friend then invited me now to one of her friends' book clubs. And that is what I mean by the universe will literally provide you with whatever you want and desire. And it may take a little bit of time, but it works in such a mysterious way. I think the probability, and like I said, a numbers game, the more you go out, show your face, whatever it is, there's more of a chance that there can be a upbringing, a story building process. And sometimes there has to be a story building process for whatever thing in your mind where you're like, oh, I wish I could do this, or oh, I want to do that. Girl, go to random rooms, even things you don't even think are going to help you in the long run. Just go. Literally, just say yes and just go, because it is all a numbers game. The more you show your face and the more you show up to something random or something consistently, like find something that you really like to do, you're going to create relationships. There'll be relationships that branch off into other things. I promise you, the more you say yes and the more you show your face, the more opportunities will come. And I think I said that like 7 times, but it's because it's so true. So, the last thing that I want to bring into September is something that could help a lot of people. And it has helped me a lot. Not only like save money, but also just creates less anxiety for my week, and that is grocery shopping when your week starts. And I know everybody's week starts at a different time now because we're in 2026, okay? Your week could start on a Wednesday, my week can start on a Sunday or Saturday. For example, I would say that I try to make my weeks start on a Sunday so that I'm prepared for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But sometimes my week will start on a Saturday. It will. And I know everyone's different because of jobs and all of this. You know, we have so many different lives at hand and so many different careers at hand. But whatever works for you, whatever date you have that starts your week, pick that day or the day before and grocery shop. Kind of like a meal prep kind of moment, you know? And it gets easier the more that you do it. It's like a skill, like everything in life. The more you do it, the better you get at it. And yeah, I feel like grocery shopping is a big one for me, especially just for the week. It's a big anxiety lessener because then I'm able to wake up and have breakfast and not have to worry about like what am I gonna eat? What am I gonna eat? Ugh, I'm not in the mood for this. Like it really helps. And I just read a study on lean people eat damn near the same thing every single day. So lean mean machine. You're right. I don't know. That could probably vary, obviously. But yeah, I feel like that will be a big essential for the next upcoming months for me, especially because cooking is so fun. It can be so fun if you make it fun and not stressful. And like I said, it's a skill. That is another skill in itself, is trying not to make it stressful. But once you start finding things that you're like, okay, I'm going to go to the grocery store and this is exactly what I'm going to get specifically, and then you put it in your refrigerator, you open up your refrigerator, you're like, this is what I can make today because it's already there. And just make it, you can make it all in that one day so that the next days and the next days, you just put it in the microwave, put it in the oven, put it on the stove if you don't really believe in microwaves and like all the waves and ish. Like, it's so much easier that way. It really is. And just your anxiety just goes down. You don't have to think about what you have to eat, and you can just pop it in and just eat it real quick, and then you're chilling. I'm definitely bringing that into September. I really am. It's like very type A, but sometimes being type A may cause like disruption as you're doing it. And you may think, oh, like I could be doing something better. But no, when you put in time in for like one day, you put in time for the rest of your week, it makes everything so much easier. You make your week so much more productive, so much more productive, so much more easier. So that's what I will be bringing into September. And that is the end of this freaking video. I'm super excited for this channel because I get to talk about like these are all the things that are in my journal. And I don't know, I feel like my journal is super educational at times. Like whatever helps me, I feel like can help other people. And that's why I talk about it, because I'll be the person that takes one for the team and says it out loud. I'm your low dopamine YouTuber for now. If you're washing the dishes, you could be taking a shizzle. If any of this resonated with you, leave a comment down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'm so close to 200 subscribers, which I'm super excited about. Do not forget to like. I know that it's really easy to forget to like a YouTube video because you're just watching it and it's kind of just like, I'm just watching a YouTube video. But even I tend to realize that it is super easy to forget to like a video on YouTube. As for like on TikTok or Instagram, it's like you just scroll, tap, tap, scroll, tap, tap. Those are the essentials that I am bringing into September.